Growing up, I grew up in a Catholic family, but in a lot of ways we were nominally Catholic. So there was some gaps in my catechesis and stuff. But I always loved being Catholic, and my family always went to Sunday Mass, things like that. But when I was in high school, sports really became what was most important to me. I played basketball and football and golf in the spring, and I enjoyed all of those, and I did pretty well at them. And my faith kind of got relegated to the peripheral. And so then after I was confirmed, especially my sophomore year in high school, I slowly started fading away. Didn't always go to Mass on Sunday, did not frequent the Sacrament Reconciliation. In my senior year, when I was deciding where I was going to go to college, my major decision-making process was around where I wanted to play football and where I could go to school to study engineering. And through kind of a lengthy process, I decided to go to the University of Mary in Bismarck and play football as a tight end and go to school for engineering. But when I got there, there was a lot of blessings and graces I wasn't really expecting. I was expecting to play football for 4 years, 5 years, graduate, move on, and have a career and a family. But when I got there, I got involved with some good Catholic men who became my friends. One of which was Michael Mortensen, who I played football with. Jerome Richter was another. And there was just a great Catholic community that really helped me by their example of virtue, by how seriously they took Christ as a real person and not just an abstract figure, how they took the church and the church teaching. And I, by their example, grew in virtue. By their own knowledge of the faith, I learned the depth in church teaching and the beauty that was there for us. And I just dove in and just absorbed as much as I could. In the spring of my first year at UMary, I took a class that was taught by Jerome Richter and Monsignor James Shea. And it was during the class, Monsignor Shea talked about vocations to the religious life and to the priesthood, and explained really what they were in essence. He talked about desire to give up everything for the sake of the kingdom of heaven, and the gift that celibacy really is, not just a discipline, but a gift to the man or woman who's called to that sort of life. He talked about discerning a vocation, and the first step to discerning a vocation is giving the Lord permission. That if you ask me to go, Lord, I'll go. I'll say yes. Taking that class with Monsignor Shea really opened my heart to really start considering if I had a vocation, and to give the Lord permission, and to kind of consider some of the things I would have to give up in order to go to seminary, like not playing football anymore, transferring schools, those sorts of things. So initially, when I started thinking about it, I decided, no, I'm just going to stay at the University of Mary. I'm going to play, continue playing football, and that's what I did my sophomore year. And I loved it. University of Mary was great. I had a lot of great friends. I had the best season of football I'd had yet, and I was looking forward to continuing and graduating. In the spring of my sophomore year, through some friends, I visited St. John Vianney Seminary in St. Paul, and that trip was really powerful for me. And when I was there, the Lord really moved my heart, and all I could really think about was kind of imagining myself as a seminarian for the diocese, and going to school and starting to study to be a priest. And when I went back to the University of Mary, that's really the time that I started discerning seriously whether or not I was going to go to seminary. I called the vocation director, Monsignor Tom Richter, and talked to him, and he really helped me understand some of the things that I was experiencing, give me kind of some words to describe it. But there was also a lot of struggles, some fears, feeling pressure that I had to stay, I had to finish school, I had to keep playing football. But over the course of the semester, it gradually became more clear that where my heart was is desiring to be a priest and to go to seminary. and desiring to celebrate the sacraments for the people of God, and to teach them about the faith, and kind of share with them how the Lord had moved my own heart, and desiring to bring that to other people, to the laity and the people of God.